To the bill.
Thank you, sir. Well, good morning, colleagues. And, what's pleasant on our floor is that most of the time we're pretty much on the same page. So these are always difficult discussions to have when we're kind of seemingly somewhat at odds with each other. I have to say that while I have two districts, while Gresham Barlow can deal with this budget, $8.2 billion for K-12, I know that Reynolds cannot. And we struggle with a considerable amount of poverty in the Rockwood area, which I share with Representative Peluso. I also know what it's like to live in an education system that's underfunded. Working at Mount Hood Community College for 20 years, I think the whole time I've been there, we've been underfunded. And it doesn't help that we can't seem to pass any sort of budget plan that the voters will approve. So I don't like 8.2. I would like 8.4. I might even like 9. But I believe that this is all we can do right now. And the question is, why? Well, people continue to link our problems in funding education to things like PERS. Cost drivers, they call it. Well, they are cost drivers. There's no doubt about it. Personnel cost money. And I believe that PERS was a legally constituted contract, and thus I see it as a very legitimate state expense. Now, some intimate, that this is somehow illegitimate. The truth is, I believe this is an obligation of the state to deal with, just like anything else, just like trying to expand health care to cover needed people. So we have to stop looking at PERS as the whole problem. We also have to remember that in terms of funding, we're also dealing with problems in social services. We're also dealing with problems in emergency services. All of those things require us to raise revenue. Now, PERS, some critics say, can be fixed simply by having public employees have less and less. However, they want to do that before even discussing revenue. So let's think about this. We have citizens, we have small business, we have medium businesses, we all pay our taxes, but we have the largest folks in our state saying, well, not them. That doesn't make any sense. So I think that we have to get away from the narrative of saying, well, you got to fix PERS first before you talk about revenue, and realize that PERS is part of revenue. Now, the majority party is often much criticized in this body. We have and continue to want to move a business tax plan that would have done a lot to fix PERS and to fix our funding problems in general. Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of traction with that. Leadership had to give up on that, and that's unfortunate. But keep in mind, House Democrats did have a plan. It's not as if we were just sitting around doing nothing.